You're welcome to Positive Impact. My name is Joy Elenwo, and I'm your host for today. Positive Impact is a program that talks about social issues that affect the family and the society generally. Because ultimately, you are your own competition. Because until you arise, every other thing is sleeping.
What is depression to start with? It's a state whereby you are not interested in activities, you have mood swings, you don't feel like you're worth anything. And so, of course, in marriages, we have situations that can lead to depression.
Hello viewers, you're welcome to another edition of Positive Impact. Positive Impact is an entertaining and interesting show where we talk about social issues that affect the family and the society. Today we have a very special guest. He's an international fitness coach, and he's going to tell us the benefit of keeping fit. I have with me today David Davis.
Thank you very
welcome
much.
to the program.
Thank you very much for having me here.
You're welcome. Can you introduce yourself properly? I'm sure I didn't say everything.
You've said it all. Yeah, I'm David Davis, and I'm a specialized personal trainer and also an OAP for fitness telecommunications. And I work with the fitness and health revolutionary team that includes the orthopedics, the cardiologists, the physiologists, and all of that. So I happen to be the specialized personal trainer.
Oh, okay. So what's the difference between, physical exercises and fitness,
Okay, now the term physical exercise and fitness and exercise itself, they are, in physiology, they are different definitions. Now, if you see someone on the road and you tell them, what are you doing? They tell you you're doing exercise. Well, exercise is actually a calculated and also a structured movement that is repetitive in nature. Now, when I mean repetitive in nature, if I'm doing a bench press, I would have to do 10 reps for 4 sets. So the reps, that's where the repetitiveness comes in. Now, for physical activity, in physiology, we would say physical activity is a bodily movement, okay, that is performed by the skeletal muscles, yet that requires energy. But personally, I would want to define physical activity as just going about your day with vigor and alertness.
So how much exercises do we need, as...
Now, talking about how much exercise we need. Now, exercise in general, before you start exercising, there are so many things you should consider. First is your HTR, which is your heart target rate. We have your DCI, which is your daily caloric intake. We have a lot of things to consider. We also have your somatotype. We have the ectomorph, we have the endomorph, and also the mesomorph. All of these things are things you're supposed to put to consideration before exercising. So me as an ectomorph person or as an endomorph person, I understand that if my goal is to get mere extension, which is the muscle, I won't exceed 45 minutes. And now, for the fact I'm looking for muscle does not mean I'll start walking like every other person on the road. They are regimented and calculated exercise. That is where the definition of exercise comes in for that particular program. You see ladies in the gym, they tell you they don't want to have muscles and they don't want to look like Hercules. But you need to go for a particular regimen to look like Hercules. So answering your question, how much of the exercise we need, it depends on what you want. Some persons might just say, I don't want to exercise because I just want to be fit. It goes. Some persons might want to change their look. Some persons might want to say, okay, fine, I don't want to lose weight. Some say, I don't want to gain weight. So it depends on what you want. That's the exercise you're supposed to do.
Okay, you mentioned ectomorph, endomorph.
Yeah, those are the three body types. Now the endomorph I'm not an endomorph person, not like fully an endomorph person, are those fat people. No, like, no, I'm not using the word fat to shade anybody, but are those with flesh. They gain weight easily. Now, the ectomorph are those that can actually eat one bowl of gari and it looks like they didn't even have anything. Now, the mesomorph are the genetically gifted people. You see them with muscles, striations, good proportions, and all of that, even without working out. Those are people that are blessed. And I think my brothers from Cross River, they are really blessed with that kind of, mesomorph. Those are the muscular guys. The endomorph are the chubby, with flesh and all of that. The ectomorph are the slim people.
Oh, okay. So how is the physical exercise beneficial to us?
Now, physical exercises, it's to answer your question. I'm thinking of so many things to answer your question with. It's just like asking me how breathing is beneficial to us, because for me, I see physical exercise as breathing. You get. Now, let me just go to the few, or let's say the first benefit you get from physical exercise. Now, after your exercise or during your exercise, we have different hormones. We have the endorphins, we have the adrenaline, we have the dopamine. All of these hormones are hormones that will make you feel good, make you feel confident, ease stress. So exercise exercise itself is more like a medicine or a panacea to sudden and unexpected death. Exercise can also help you manage or fight things like osteoporosis. As we age, we lose bone density. So the moment you're involved in physiological movement, you get that will also help you with the bone density, not just to make you feel good. You find out that you're looking younger than your age. Like, I can tell you're doing exercise from just looking at you, because you're looking very young. Yeah.
I want to lose weight, actually. I want to lose weight.
So the benefits of exercise are so numerous. I can mention, I can keep going on and on about it. But the bottom line is exercise, it's very important for everybody at every age.
I wanted to ask about, the notion that some people take some steroid to build up their muscles.
Now, when we talk about steroids, first of all, steroids here, it's illegal. Now, I can tell you steroids are also things you can use, or substance you can use to heal injuries. Yeah. You get, the moment you have an internal injury, or let's say you have hormonal issues as a man, you can take shots of testosterone to help you with all of those things. Now, the World Anti-Doping Agency, which the headquarters is in Spain, is against steroids for muscle building. You get. So now athletes involved in they call it juicing, because why? They want to take the human body to its utmost form of perfection, which generally I don't see any human body being perfect. We have eras of the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, all saying their eras were the best. You get. So using steroids is illegal and it is not good. Now, when we talk about the health risks, you have things like the enlargement of the heart, which killed them, likes of Rich Piana and Dallas McCaver in 2017. We have cancer, we have kidney failure, and all of those things are things that can actually, affect you when you're taking steroids. So yes, there's steroids in the industry. Yes, there is steroids in the market. You can actually get them anywhere. But the thing is, you taking it, you need to understand that there are so many health risks and there are so many things you can actually avoid by not taking them.
Okay, going back to exercise, is one exercise better than the other?
No exercise is better than the other. Okay, let me say it this way. Now, I'm an athlete, yeah. I'm also a personal trainer. So over time, I've come across a lot of different clients that would say, I want to build muscle, I want to lose weight, I want to do this. Now, like I said earlier on, we have so many things to consider, which in fitness or in exercise, we say your basic health status. We have your blood pressure, we have your HCR, and the simplest way to calculate your HCR, this is just a free tip I'm giving out here, is because the World Health Organization has said the normal or the average count of your heart is 222. So you're minusing your age from 222, which the advised percent of your intensity in every workout. Now, if you're doing the low intensity, it should be from 50% to 70, and you're doing a vigorous exercise or high intensity, it should be from 75 to 85. Now, depending on the intensity you're using, you just minus your age from 220 and times 75, or the intensity you're using, you get your heart target rate. So all of these things are things you should consider before doing any exercise. So if you see someone squatting 300 pounds and you see the next person just walking on the road, they have different goals. You get? They have different goals, they have different mindset of exercise. So you can see me coiling a 10 pound and you can see the other person is coiling 50 pounds. We are not the same. So one exercise is not better than the other because you're doing one, I'm doing less. I have my goal, you have a goal.
Okay, exercise, they say, makes you feel good. What's your view? I know you're going to tell me makes you feel good. What's your view?
Now, talking about exercise makes you feel good, like I mentioned earlier, the hormones that are released when you involve in physiological movement. Now, now those hormones don't just release like when you're sleeping, or yeah, I know alerts can also release those hormones. If you get some alerts, you get and you get. But now, exercise has its way of making you feel very confident, because it has been said, or it has been confirmed by studies, that 30 to 60 minutes after your workout, your blood sugar level is at its lowest. So you can imagine you feeling confident or feeling very fulfilled that you've actually, set out this program. So probably you say you want to work on your lower body. We have things like the squats, we have things like the lunges, we have things like the leg extension, and you go through all of this exercise. There will be this sense of fulfillment. Oh, fine, I did all of these things without even getting tired, or even if I was tired, I actually finished it. So you get a sense of fulfillment. And now the next one is when you look yourself in the mirror, what you see. So if you were a size 18 or whatever, and you're losing weight and you're fitting into those clothes you were not fitting in before, it gives you that sense of achievement. You've done something for yourself. For those of us that were very skinny, now you just go to the boutique, or just go to any clothes shop and you wear a shirt and you see your deltoids are out, your pectoral muscles, your biceps and triceps, you feel very good about yourself. So exercise also plays a mental and also a physical game.
What are the impacts of physical exercises on stress and well-being?
Okay, now, like I said, have you ever gone for a walk before?
Yes, I have.
Not in an enclosed environment, an open space?
Yes.
Can you tell me your experience?
Well, say the first day I can walk like a mile. The next day I want to walk, more than a mile. I feel good. I inhale like fresh air. My bones, the blood is...
Were you thinking of your problems when you were walking?
No, I'll be singing and I'll be happy. Or listening to music.
You just answered my question. Because one thing about exercise, at that point in time, okay, I would always want to use bodybuilding or weight training as a case study or as my example, because that is what I'm into fully, you get. So let's say you have a bad day at work. The barbell at the gym or the dumbbell at the gym does not care how you feel. 50 pounds or 50 kg is still going to be 50 kg on a good day, on a bad day. So answering your question, what impact exercise has on stress, you find that you're feeling very relieved, you're feeling less stressed, you're feeling less worried when you're taking the walk, because you're seeing buildings, you're seeing trees, you're taking in fresh air, not like the ones that come from the fan, the AC. No, this is fresh, natural from God, you get. So it makes you feel good and eases your stress, makes you think well, enhances the big brain. So you see, exercise is more like a medicine a lot of persons are not taking.
Thank you so much. We'll take a short break and we'll be right back. Don't go away. Welcome back. We're talking about physical exercises with Mr. David Davis. David, it's good to have you. We're really finding you here interesting. Do I need to work out every day? How much
of the exercise you need?
Yes.
Is that what you're asking?
Yes.
Okay, now talking about working out every day. Now, like I said, everything has to do with a personal goal, you get. So if you say, do you need to work out every day? I would say no, and I'll say yes. Now, we have what we call the 3 on, the 4 off. We have 7 days in a week. We have what we call the 4 on, the 3 off, which means you're working out 3 times in a week and you're resting 4 times in a week. You're working out 4 times in a week, you're resting 3 times in a week. Now, why do you do that? It takes 72 to 48 hours I said 72 and 48 hours, most times 3 days, most times 2 days for a torn tissue to repair itself. Now, how can these tissues repair itself? Due to the things you're taking, your food and also your rest. So if you're having proper rest, definitely the muscle will recuperate faster. So if you're still feeling sore from probably a pec movement, your bench press, your cable flies and all of that, it's advisable to let the muscle rest for a couple of days, a day or two, before you hit it again. So 3 times in a week is advisable because we have different muscles on our bodies. We have different anatomies. We have the pecs, the deltoids, and all of this has their individual muscles to work on. Like the delt, we have the lateral head, we have the anterior, we have the posterior. All of these are muscles on one particular muscle. You get? So if you're hitting this muscle today, you can give space in between. Let's assume, okay, you worked on your lower body on Monday, we did the squats and all of that. On Tuesday, you're resting. On Wednesday, you're coming to the gym, you're hitting your delt and your lats, which is your back. You're resting on Thursday, and on Friday, you're hitting your pecs and your arm. So you find out you've actually worked on all the anatomy in just 3 days. So if you need more time to work on this anatomy based on differentiating or separating the workout, then you can actually add some days to it. But rest, it's very, very important. Now, for the other question, how long should you work out? Yeah. Now, I think, like I said, we have different hormones. 45 minutes to an hour is very okay for anybody to work out. My clients don't train more than 45 minutes. Why? Because we have different hormones in the body, and there's a hormone in the body called cortisol. It's a stress hormone. The moment that hormone is being released in your body during the course of the exercise, it is assumed everything you've done would go to waste. Because the moment you're stressed, you're tired, you're depleted, you're feeling lightheaded, which means there's no glucose in your body for you to continue the exercise. Some persons make the mistake of continuing this exercise, and thereby it leads to depletion. Depletion is when you lose muscle mass. And that is like the biggest fear of everybody that wants more extension. So for those of us too that wants to lose weight, I see a lot of persons say, I go to the gym and I run on the treadmill for 3 hours, and I'm like, 3 hours? You get, it's very wrong. Okay. You should have a particular workout in your head first, and the particular anatomy you're hitting. So let's say you want to do the HIIT, which is a high intensity interval training. You can do things like the 3 permutation 4, the HIIT abdominal blast, all of these things, 45 minutes, you should be done. So if you're working out for 3 hours, I really don't know the exact thing you're doing, but working out for more than an hour, it's wrong.
Okay. So what physical exercises should I do to lose weight if I want to lose weight? And what are the processes? Like some people come into the gym, you don't stretch out, you just get on the treadmill, and so.
Okay, now when you talk about stretches, there's something I always do, and oftentimes on the radio I've always said this: start your workout with the BWS. Now the BWS is simply for breathing, warm up, and static stretches. Okay. Now the breathing is when you inhale and exhale. That also triggers endorphins. When you're warming up, you're actually helping your blood circulate around the body. You get, so you don't cramp or you don't injure yourself during the course of the exercise. Same thing as the stretches. You get, so if you're asking me the particular exercise you should do, we have the aerobics and the anaerobic exercise. The aerobics is when we dance, we swim, all of those things are aerobics. Now the anaerobics is when we lift the weights, we squat, we bench. Both of them can actually make you lose weight, because one, you're also burning calories by doing the both of them. Now it has been proven by studies that you burn as much calories as you do when you're doing the aerobics, when you're doing the anaerobics. So the person doing the aerobics and the person doing the anaerobics are burning almost the same amount of calories. You get, it's just the difference in the exercise. So you picking your part of exercise is okay, it's fine by me, but I'll say in as much as you're doing the aerobics, try as much as you can to add the anaerobics so your demis will be dense and they won't be flabby. Some persons lose weight and you still see some flabbiness in their skin. It's because they are not using the weight training or the anaerobic exercise to help it. Also boils down to the nutrition. If you're not eating well, if you're still eating things with the simple sugar, it will really affect you. So you need more of the complex carbohydrates to help you instead of the simple.
Okay. Can physical fitness be achieved only by exercising?
Yes. The word fitness is a state.
Okay.
Physical state, mental state, and spiritual state. So if you have let's say a worker and you want to send the person something, the next person might tell you he's not fit for the job. Yeah. There's the word fit there. or an ability for you to carry out a task. So in as much as you want to get fit physically, you must engage in physical exercise.
Okay, so how can I maintain myself physically fit? How can I be physically fit, you know?
First of all, everything starts with the mind. The mind is a very powerful tool, a lot of persons don't know. So let's say you want to lose weight. You have a set goal, you're like probably 190, which is about, I think, 80 something kg or so, and you want to lose weight. Now, it's simple. Walking alone can help you with your diet. But if you need it to be more effective, that is where you need to start hitting the gym. You need to start doing things like the squats, some things like the battle rope, the spin bike, and all of those things will help you aid your weight loss fast. You get? So when we talk about if you must engage in physical exercise, yes, you must engage in physical exercise for you to be fit.
Now, can walking make you lose weight and reduce belly fat?
Like walking.
Taking a walk? Yes.
Now, yeah, walking can actually make you lose weight, but the aspect of losing belly fat, now, anything that has to do with abdominals, belly, it is what goes in that we actually see outside. You get? So persons that are naturally big, like I have a friend that will tell me, David, even the water I drink makes me fat. You get? But walking can actually help you build your abdominal walls, but you need to engage in a well-regimented abdominal workout like the crunches, the leg raises, the planks, and all of that will help you with abdominals.
Okay, you talked about what goes in. What do you mean? What we eat?
Yeah, what you eat.
So what should we eat?
Now, what you eat now, whilst growing up, we all heard balanced diet consists of the carbohydrates, the protein, and the healthy fats, which is, I think, the high-density lipoprotein, which is the HDL. Now, some persons get it all wrong when they hear carbohydrates. They're like, oh, carbohydrates is fat. But actually, your body functions on carbohydrates because that is where your body gets the energy from for you to function for the day. Now, if you can remember, I said physical activity, from my own definition, is going about your daily activity with vigor and alertness. Without energy, without strength, you can't do anything. So now, the problem is picking the right carbohydrates. Rice is carbohydrate, and in this part of the world, the carbohydrate we really deal with is gari. Someone can be very comfortable to say, I would swallow gari in the morning, afternoon, and night. You're taking in too much calories. And like I said, before you engage in any physical activity, you must consider some things first, which one includes the DCI, your daily caloric intake. So if as a lady, your daily caloric intake is about 2,000 or let's say 1,500, and a plate of gari and soup is about, let's say, 500 to 9, let's say 1,000 calories. Plus minus one, because we're talking about the meat, we're talking about the leaf and all of those things, and here we really like to enjoy the gari to our satisfaction. Let's say a plate is about 1,000 calories. You eat in the morning. In the afternoon, you feel like eating gari. Gari, that's how many? 2,000. In the evening, that's 3,000. So you've consumed a day and the next day meal in just one day. And that's not including the things you're snacking on along the way. So what you put in your mouth tells me how you're looking, or how you're looking tells me what you're putting in your mouth. Because if you're taking much of this carbohydrate and you're not adding protein, or you're not doing what we call the portion control and all of that, it will be as if you're doing nothing. Yes, you get those, those little benefits, your cardiorespiratory performance will be very good, your waistline might change a little bit, your bone structure and all of that. It will help your skeletal frame perfect. But for you to see good and lasting changes, you have to make good and big changes too. So talking about the choices of carbohydrate you should pick, you should do things like rice. We have things like pasta. We have things like we have potato that has fiber in it. We have beans that have fiber in it, and a lot of persons get this misconception that beans is protein. I'm sorry, beans is carbohydrate with a little percent of protein in it. It's a plant protein, and to me, plant protein don't count because they don't give you. When we talk about protein, I'm thinking of, or I'm looking at growth and development. You get? So the fat is just for your healthy heart, proper function, and all of that. So when you're picking your carbohydrate, make sure you're picking the right source of carbohydrate. So you don't go and eat bread and say it's carbs.
So what's the right sauce? Rice?
I just mentioned rice. We have beans. We have spag. We have all of those things are things you can actually eat that will give you good result. Now, if you're eating gari, I think we have what we call the pando potato. You get that is less in calories, and also something you should consider is the glycemic index in all of these things. So we go to the store, we get food, and we don't even check it. Glycemic index is how fast and how high your blood glucose level increases after consuming a particular meal. So some persons don't know this, and they just go up everything inside, and you're consuming a lot of things. Now the perfect glycemic index is from 50 to 70, and gari is about from 75 up.
Okay.
So if you're eating gari morning, afternoon, and night, you're killing yourself.
So, but we can eat gari maybe once or twice.
Once in a day, probably in the afternoon when you're still active, so you can walk, you can burn calories and all of that.
So, let's look at the side effects of. You're just mentioning some now, like of exercise.
Okay.
So, what are the side effects?
The side effect of exercise is good health, strong bone.
Side effects.
There is no side effect
Really?
of exercise. It is when you do it. I would always say, leave your ego at the door and train without obsession. You get? Obsession is something that would cause injury, that would cause a lot of things if you're not careful. So there's what we call, anorexia nervosa. It's a disorder basically for women that they are scared of eating and they always want to go to the gym and all of that. That is overtraining. That's the OTS, overtraining syndrome. So you need to understand that exercise is good, but excess of everything is bad. So if you want to be on the negative side of exercise, overdo it. If you want to be on the positive side, make it moderate, complement it with your rest and your food.
So is it advisable to always get a coach?
It is very, very advisable. Like I can lose my hair and say that it is very advisable, because most times we go to YouTube, we go to Instagram. I'm not discrediting anybody. I also make videos on YouTube. I also make videos on Instagram. You get about the workouts, but it is different when I'm with you, seeing the kind of exercise you're doing. The leg placement might not be as the same as the one you're seeing on YouTube, but you won't know because you're not watching yourself. So it is advisable to get a certified trainer that will be with you all the time, monitoring and changing your exercise routine as your summertime. Okay?
Certified trainer, yes.
Certified trainer.
Yes, we have this message from one of our viewers.
Okay.
So he wants to know, he said, for those who work involves vigorous activity that causes large increase in breathing or heart rate, carrying or lifting heavy load, digging, doing some construction work continuously for at least 10 minutes a day. Sorry, 10 minutes. What is your advice to those kind of people who do such?
Oh, okay. I think I would guess this is coming from a man.
Yes.
Okay. Now, they say iron and sweat produce mere extension of the flesh. Have you seen those guys carrying heavy bags on their shoulders and they're taking it to one place, or floating cement bag?
Yeah.
Have you seen how built they are? That's the principle of the iron and sweat. Now, the word iron there means anything you're moving. So it might not just be iron, it might be cement, it might be block, and all of that. Now, what you do when you're in that situation, like I mentioned earlier, you're already in a vigorous exercise without doing the BWS. So if you're taking out time to do some stretches, you're taking out time to drink enough water. Because when you're doing that, sweat goes out. It's excretion. You're taking out a lot of sweat in you. You get dehydrated. Most of the times you feel drowsy and all of that. So you need to drink enough water. And also you need to eat enough food, because you're burning too much or calories. You get? You're burning too much calories. You need to replace them with the food. So if you're in that situation, you still need exercise. Okay? Because you need to be physically fit to do anything that has to be physical. Okay? So you still need a form of exercise, but not rigorous. It has to be mild. It has to be with a very low intensity, because your work already is very vigorous. Okay? So you need more food, you need more rest, and you also need things like the static stretches, the dynamic stretches, the syrup. You need all of those things to keep you in check. And another thing again is, you really should not push past what your body can carry. Most of the times we fall sick and we think is one thing or the other. No, that's a way of your body telling you, I need rest. So we should prioritize our rest, prioritize our food, and also the things we eat. Now, the things we eat may also include fruits, vegetables, because nutrition is divided into two. We have the macro and we have the micro. And I doubt this person is having enough of the macro. The macro is the gari, the rice, and all of that. Because if you're moving things, there's no way you start eating. So we have things like the vitamin C, the B complex, the folic acid, the fish oil. All of these things will keep you going. Okay, so if you can't get enough from your macro, like I will always say, you can rely on the micro to help you. That's it.
Thank you so very much.